What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I want to get into this. I want to break down the Michigan State football Spartans preview. So the big news is Mel Tucker comes in for his first year as a head coach. Was a head coach at Colorado last year, 5-7 his first year, but really had some good momentum going for Colorado. Was bringing in a lot of good recruits, doing a lot of good things in Colorado, and then it looked at first like Michigan State wasn't going to get him, and then he decided to take the offer after they cranked up the offer a little bit, added a little more money. So Mel Tucker heads into his first year at Michigan State, known as a great recruiter, is coached under Nick Saban. Jim Tressel was a former assistant at Michigan State in the 1997 season, 98 season. So Mel Tucker, good at evaluating talent at Georgia. He brought in some notable names like Tyson Campbell, 5-star corner who's flashed of Georgia. Mecole Hardman, a wide receiver now for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a guy that Mel Tucker really targeted and brought in. That was huge for the Georgia Bulldogs. Was key to Georgia's SEC title run and their national championship run that came just a little bit short. But at Georgia, from 2016 to 2018, he was the DB coach there, and Kirby Smart was sad to see him go, but had Colorado moving in the right direction heading into year two, and then chose to take the opportunity to join the Michigan State football program, a program that has kind of been reeling a little bit after Mark D'Antonio left it in not really good shape. A team that struggled on the offensive side of the ball. Defense was strong, but last year took a little bit of a step back. But starts at the quarterback position, which will be key for the Spartans next year. Lose Brian Lewerke, who had a solid career at Michigan State. Some would argue it wasn't very good. Some would argue it was solid. I don't think anyone would say he had a great career, but he was okay for the Spartans. He was a competitor. He made some plays, did some decent things, especially the 2017 season, led him to a 10-3 record, a win over Michigan, and a bowl win over the Washington State Cougars. So it's going to likely be between Theo Day and Rocky Lombardi. I think a lot of people would have the edge to maybe Theo Day. They want a new guy. Rocky Lombardi's kind of really shown like enough to convince people that he's not likely the guy. He has a strong arm, but he hasn't really shown me anything. But so Theo Day, a big quarterback, 6'5", 220 from the Canton area. I believe he played at Canton High School. But so it's likely be between those two. There's one other guy that'll have a chance of getting the job, but likely Lombardi, Theo Day are names to watch out for when you hear about the Spartan quarterback battle heading into 2020. They returned Elijah Collins at the running back position. Collins, a very talented running back that has kind of been the feature back for the State Spartans. I think he'll be the feature back once again. Last year, 988 yards on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns. Like I said, Collins a tough runner. I think he's a solid player. I think could be an all Big Ten running back. Anxious to see if Collins takes his game up to another level in 2020. They lose Cody White and Darrell Stewart at the wide receiver positions, both talented kids. Darrell Stewart made some plays. I like his competitiveness. Also had some drops, especially in that Ohio State game and other games. There was kind of some drops that, catches he should have made. He was, I guess to put it this way, he should have made some more plays, but I respected Stewart's competitiveness. Cody White was another competitive guy. Wasn't super fast, wasn't like the fastest guy, but made some key catches and was a tough, competitive kid that did some great work after the catch at receiver. So they'll miss Cody White and Stewart, but they get Jalen Naylor, a speedy wide receiver that's battled through some injuries, back. Also get transfer Jaden Reed from Western Michigan, who was a freshman All-American a couple years ago for the Western Michigan Broncos. Key guys they lost on defense are Kenny Willekes and Joe Bocci. Bocci, a guy that just made a ton of tackles for him, obviously got in trouble for taking some substance. And Willekes was a guy that was very solid for all 4 years at Michigan State, so they'll miss Willekes. I really like Willekes a lot. He was a tough physical player at defensive end. They do return Antoine Simmons at the linebacker position. He's a key returner on that side of the ball. 3.5 sacks, 2 passes defended, and 1 interception. Xavier Henderson returns at safety. Pretty highly recruited kid, former 4-star, 2 interceptions last year. So that'll be key for him coming back to a Michigan State secondary with not really a lot of experience. Don't really have a lot of experience overall on the defensive side, but they hope that, Simmons and Henderson take their game to another level next year. So the schedule, I was going to get to the schedule, but obviously the schedule changed because of the news that the Big Ten is only going to play conference games. So this will actually be pretty good for Michigan State because they're supposed to play Miami. They're supposed to play a pretty tough schedule overall. Supposed to open up with Northwestern. We'll see. They likely will still do that. But with the schedule change, I think this helps Michigan State because, they're going to play a tough out-of-conference schedule. So we'll see what their schedule looks like now. It's going to be obviously 10 Big Ten games, but I think this will be key. I think, sadly to admit, for Spartans fans watching, I think this will be a tough year one for Michigan State, but I think Mel Tucker will get this thing rolling, get this into a competitive program just because of his recruiting pedigree. He's a positive guy that I think will build some momentum in this Spartan program, get it going back to the right direction and looking similar to what it was like under Mark D'Antonio. Not quite as good, maybe not quite as good as D'Antonio, but I think he has a chance to get it rolling and make him competitive in the Big Ten once again, and obviously score some more points on offense. Something they need to do better not only next year, but going in the future if they want to win some games, because it was frustrating for Michigan State. Their defense played so well, especially in the 2019 season, but there's games they just couldn't score. And, I mean, it's hard to win in games in college football if you don't put points on the board, even if you have a great defense like Michigan State did. But, yep. And also some key guys, Raekwon Williams at the defensive tackle. They lost him. So, but yeah, Michigan State, it's a program that it's too bad that D'Antonio left it the way it was, because but the Michigan State should be very fortunate they got Mel Tucker, because Luke Fickell was the guy I really was saying that they should get. I think Fickell would really turn the program around. He has ties to Ohio. They could recruit the state of Ohio pretty well, but ended up with Mel Tucker, pretty good hire. Really like what Mel Tucker's about. Obviously, I can't say enough about his effort in the recruiting area. But thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Thanks so much for you guys' support. We're now over 100 subscribers. It's all thanks to you guys. Thanks for the support, and it means the world to me. So thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Until next time, peace.